You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm very ready.
Oh my gosh, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
We were supposed to record this last week, and I got sick. Sarun got sick.
I don't even think I was in the country. I was trying to think. I'm like, wait, what?
Patch me in.
No, that was last Friday. I got back in last Tuesday, so we were good.
Got you. Well, to all of our listeners and to everybody watching, welcome to BoyFriends. Welcome to the BoyFriends podcast.
Awesome.
Are you excited?
I am. I just got a burst of energy.
Okay.
The Red Bull.
It's the Red Bull. It gives you wings.
Can I just say really quickly that I love our little commercial thing? It is just the thing
I
in the
know. I
world.
love it. I like how you came up with that logo. I don't know, but I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
Oh, I'm glad you like it. Yeah. I love fiddling around with graphics and stuff. And
Did you make it on Canva? Because Canva's kind of awesome. Yeah.
Of course.
We make everything on Canva here.
So why don't we just go around and just do like quick intros? Like let's let the audience know who everybody is. I think we want to start with Melvin.
Yes.
And then we'll just swing on around. Let us know who you are, what you do, and I guess what you have been up to recently. And
So my name is Melvin Foreman. Should I get like my Instagram tag or something?
yeah, you can.
Okay.
We're gonna put it in the. We're gonna put
we're gonna
everything
put
in the
it
show
there.
notes.
It'll be right at the
It's
bottom.
gonna be there.
At Melvin_Foreman. I am a screenwriter. Currently, I'm working on a teleplay, which I just found out is the same thing, but one is for TV and the other is for a movie. So that's what I do. Yeah.
Awesome. And you were just in Cartagena, correct?
Yes, I was just in Cartagena.
And how was that trip?
Don't you see my tan?
It looked
Don't I look
amazing.
It looks
good?
beautiful.
I have a little sunburn on my back, but it was really fun. Very
Awesome.
educational, lots of fun. It was good. It was a
Okay.
really good time. I had to show y'all pictures afterwards.
Oh, please do. Please do. So, Sarun, thank you so much for getting this space for us.
Shout out.
Totally.
So why don't you let us know, your whole deal? What's up?
What's your deal?
That sounded a little wrong.
What's your deal?
What's
going on?
What's your deal?
What's your deal?
What's your deal, bro?
What's your deal, bro? Well, hello, fellow humans. My name is Sarun Chan. I'm the executive director here in a nonprofit organization in Philadelphia. I work heavily with the refugee and immigrant community, API community, and a lot of my passions is around organizing, working in different cultures, being obnoxious, and spreading the voices around. Side note, I am into the paranormal. We're right across to a funeral home here. I don't know if you're into the spiritual world or anything like that. If you are, let's have conversations. Do a little 101 ghosty. I'm all for that. Personal experiences and things like that. But I'm into the spiritual realm.
Awesome.
I can't wait to get into
I love that.
Oh my God.
Have you ever? I don't know if you ever seen I've watched this one guy on YouTube who does like a voice box or something. Have you heard of that?
Oh, yes.
Okay, I think that is so creepy.
Yes.
But
That's fairly new, though. You know what I mean? So,
Okay.
it depends if you
it's
believe.
like one of those not really what do you call it? One of those not really vetted kind of techniques.
Well, we could get into that in the future. I think
Okay.
I'm going to jump right into
that
the
So we
Like
can do
a
a
whole-
spooky podcast.
feel and conversation.
It's Halloween. It's October.
Maybe
Yeah.
next one.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that'll be our Halloween episode. Tony, what's going on?
Hello. I am Tony Purnell. I am Philly's favorite therapist.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yes.
neighborhood psychotherapist, and I'm so happy to be here. I call myself the light worker, the light saver. I believe that we all have the potential to shine, even in the most darkest times of our lives. So I instill the light within everyone else. And I'm super grateful to have the opportunity to just instill a little bit of light within everybody else who's listening. And so I'm extremely happy to be here.
Awesome.
Oh, we love that.
Love it. We love it. We're happy to have you here. I'm Jarrod D. King.
Don't sound like just
I love it.
It's
Yeah.
a good name.
King.
Strong.
Jarrod D. King.
Oh man, no. But yeah, if you've watched Boys and Brunch and you're jumping over into this podcast, then hello again. to the bourgeois. That's what I called my people back
The
then.
what?
The bourgeois. You know, it's like gorgeous and bougie. So,
Okay.
Oh,
Bourgeois.
I like that.
you know.
Oh, I call mine
Bourgeois.
hood couture. You know,
That's funny.
hood. but
Not like
still
basic.
Still a bougie.
hood couture.
There you go. But yeah, I mean, you know, I'm starting this this new thing. We're gonna talk about like how to connect with each other and how to, I don't know, just kind of make some new friends and potentially find a date. Hopefully, we can help you out. But I'm gonna swing it on over to Renee so we can get a little intro and yeah, let us know what's up.
Hello, I'm Renee. I am the only one not a part of the LGBTQ community in this room, but I love my friends, obviously, and I'm so excited just to do this podcast with you guys. I am a writer. I'm very outspoken, even though I stutter so much, and I am a huge feminist, and I love brunch and extra cheese pizza.
Extra
Me too.
cheese. Pizza.
That is my life story.
Awesome. We love it.
I'm
Love
sticking
it.
to it.
All right, so so the whole premise of this show, like I said, is to help you find your circle and to find your man. And with that, I think we should just jump into our topic or our question. So what would you guys say to somebody who says, you know, why does nobody want to talk to anyone outside of their clique? And I guess I'm thinking of this like, and we can go wherever this goes, but my initial thinking of this was like, you know, you're in a social setting, you want to reach out to some people or talk to somebody new, but it's just always just a little bit of a barrier, and these people are kind of clumped up into their little spaces,
Yeah.
and they're not really receptive. What would you say to somebody who's kind of like in that space but is having a hard time kind of breaking the ice with some people?
Can I just say, before we get into that person, I want to say that sometimes I can be the person that are not looking for new friends. Like sometimes I would like to stick with my circle. So sometimes, depending on the environment or the place I'm in, sometimes I will be like, I'm just gonna stay over here with my friends and let them do them, you know, or whatever the case may be. Sometimes I'm just not in the best of moods to hang out with people. And then it's not to say that I'm not a friendly person or that I wouldn't be open to it, but I don't know. Maybe it might just be one of those days, like Monica.
I feel like your clique or your friends is kind of like your security blanket,
Yeah.
especially in social settings. I feel like you just don't want to penetrate other groups either. Sometimes it's kind of like hard because you're like, what if they don't match our vibe? That's kind of difficult because like you already have, you know, like your set of friends and you know that they're cool, but then I don't know. It's it's so hard just like to kind of like vibe check someone and see if they're even like worth talking to.
You know what?
I sound like an asshole, but
No, you don't. At least not to me. No.
That
I
whole
know what you
worthy
mean,
piece,
though, but-
I'm somewhat with you. You know, and Melvin can attest to this. You know, I don't know. For me, strangers, I'm on the whole board. Hey, how you doing? What you doing? Where are you coming from?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. I'm in the club, and you'll see me work a room.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I guess I came with my clique, but I'll be right back, Melvin. I'm going over here. All right. I think there is beauty in being vulnerable, right?
Yeah.
I think there's so much freedom in being able to be vulnerable. And so if you make a new friend or acquaintance or a business, whatever, there's a piece of you that you didn't come with, that you're gaining now. So that's how I look at it. I look at it as opportunity, you know?
Yeah.
And I always think there's, I guess I'm a little gullible sometimes, but I always think there is good people in the world, so why not make yourself open to that new setting? You know, that's just my point of view.
Absolutely.
So, has anyone in here ever tried to make a new friend and it didn't go the way you planned? Like that y'all didn't click?
I mean, like every day of my life. But I don't know. I feel like I can't think of like a specific time, but I think there was like this one moment where like I think like my friends had like left me at a club or something like that, and I just like needed someone to talk to. I think they were off with like their boyfriends or something like
I was
that.
about to say, what kind of friends leave you in the club?
They're just
I was like-
leaving
like-
you in the club.
I think they were just like off somewhere else, and I just kind of was like, hey, how you guys doing? And I just saw someone, and I was just being friendly, and then like, you know, when they like give you that look that like,
Who are you?
Like,
Why are you here?
like, okay, strange person, why are you talking to us kind of thing? And I was just like, all right, cool,
See,
great talk, friends.
That's always the strangest thing. It's just like, well, I just don't understand like why people would give off that kind of an energy if you're in like a social, like you're there to meet people.
Yeah.
I mean, and I understand on some level it's like, okay, you don't really know what this person is bringing. Are they like super awkward and just going to like cling to us for the rest of the night? Because if that's the case, and no.
Yeah.
Because
And I've had that happen too.
Yeah.
You know, I was very open to having somebody else's energy around. And it's like, okay, shoot. Like, you know, like I was just being friendly, you know, for the time being. And I have to go with my friends now. And it's like, okay, it's like you don't know what to expect. And it's like, should I? Okay, well, come along. Sure, you're by yourself.
Yeah.
All right.
You're like, okay.
You know, I get that. I've seen that before too.
I will say I have had that happen once where I was out with a couple of friends. We were in DC or something, and I came in, I think I was like the last one to arrive, and there was this like random guy that was there with them. And, you know, that I was still trying to get to know these guys. And so I was like, all right, I didn't know whether he was like with us or not, because he was just kind of like in the mix, and he was just kind of standing there. And I was like, do y'all know him? And they were like, I don't know him.
Oh, shit.
But he just would not leave.
What?
And so eventually I was just like, oh, I'm going to sound like such a jackass. But I was just like, you know, it's been such a long time since I've seen my friends. Do you think I could just talk to my friends for a little bit?
Wow.
But you know what? Actually, that was very good.
At least we're nice
That was
about it
very
and
good.
like didn't give him like a stank face like that.
Right.
girl
I mean,
gave
I
me.
was trying to be like, okay, you need to go, but I'm
Where
not
did
going
he
to be
come
like.
from? What did he say he was? Who was he?
I think he was just somebody that walked up, and they may have exchanged, you know, a couple of, you know, words, and then he just wasn't gonna leave. It was like, okay, I'm with y'all for the night. And my friends were
Listen,
just
do
like,
not be awkward. If you're gonna walk up and stand by me, say, "Hey, how you doing?"
You know, make conversation.
Y'all got good energy. Y'all mind if I hang with y'all for a couple drinks? First round's on me. Great, okay. But don't be awkward if you're out there, please.
right.
So, I want to bring up something when we initially talked about it. It made me think about friend trauma. Has anyone ever? So I kind of just made this term up.
I was about to say.
I just made it up.
So,
But so what I'm gonna define it as is, you know, you have someone who you thought was your friend, you thought you knew this person, and then whatever, you get deeper into the relationship to find out that that's not who they are, and it kind of burns you. You know, like it makes you like, well, now I don't want to meet new people because this could happen again, and I don't want this to happen again. So then I'm gonna just stick with my clique and I don't want any outsiders. You know, I think, just to go back to the question, I think sometimes maybe that might have something to do with it. Because I know when I lived in New York, some people can be so pretentious sometimes, and so you would go to, you know, like a bar or a club where you are expecting to dance or laugh and talk to people, and no, you don't get that. It's like you said, like you have the one clique over here, the other clique over here, so on and so on and so on, to the point where no one wants to talk to anyone because they're like, you might be weird, or you might be crazy like that other guy, or you know, it's always these past experiences that are affecting your everyday life in the present. And so
And when you speak about that, it reminds me. I'm being psychological. It reminds me of. So you said something about security.
Yeah.
And when you have that, we're gonna call it friend trauma. I ain't never heard of it, but
I like the word friend trauma.
You have that friend trauma. You're talking about my secure attachments, right? So if I have a friendship circle, I'm securely attached to this circle, and when something disrupts that moment, I'm immediately putting walls up. I'm immediately putting walls up, and I'm protecting what is there.
Wow.
And so it's not something that's foreign. it's okay to have that type of response. But that trauma response, something had to happen.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever, let's go off of that, had a response like that, walls immediately go up?
Definitely.
Yeah, no, all the time. Girls can be vicious, and I've had like girlfriends like my whole life, and you know, especially like during like adolescence, it's like not that unsurprising. Like people change and stuff, but it's like when it happens in adulthood, it just gets me. I'm like, wait, what?
Are we not grown?
like this one girl that I was hanging out with, I thought that she was so cool and she was just so nice, and then like just out of nowhere, like I met her when I first came to Philly, and I was like going over to her house all the time. We were talking, and then just one day she just ghosted me, just like never talked to me again. And I was like, do I even want to be in Philly? Like, she was my first friend, and she just like fell off of the planet. I have no idea what happened, and I know she's still alive because she posts on her Snapchat story.
Wow.
Because like she just never talked to me again, and I honestly had like a little bit of a hard time making new friends in Philly after that.
One response.
I thought that was like how people in Philly were. I was like, is everyone just gonna drop me after like 5 seconds?
Basically,
so, you know,
stop it.
So I guess I don't know if I'm in a minority for this, but my definition of friend is very specific. So not everyone is my friend, right? I would say I'm a very social guy. I have various different groups. But when it comes, even the term best friend, that rubs me the wrong way sometimes when someone, oh, that's my best friend, or that's my best friend. So whenever I hear that, I kind of question, is everybody your friend? Like, what's your level of friendship here, right? So for me, I would say I only have like 5 friends, like real friends that I consider that see me sloppy, knows my intent. Like we could be offensive to each other, but we know that our intent is for a good reason, right? Like we're not trying to hurt each other, to bring each other down. But then I have colleagues, I have peers, I have coworkers, I have pals, I have buddies, right? Like, so in those sense, I kind of feel bad because I'm in the opposite situation for you, where people are gravitating towards me and they don't realize that I don't consider you my friend. You're not a friend to me, right? So it's like you're a pal, you're a partner, you're a coworker, but that's the part where I know my friends know that I have issues with that, where if someone feels like they know me, but they don't really know me.
Oh my God, I called her a friend earlier.
Like, I just cut that off. Like, so there's those situations that come up.
I have a question about that. So has there ever, has there ever been a moment where, you know, you had to tell someone, well, no, I don't consider us friends? And if so, how did it go? I just want to know.
Well,
I feel like that's like, juicy. God, that's like worse than a breakup.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I'm curious to know.
So, you know, I think it's my line of work and just how I really am. You know what I mean? I'm a very friendly guy.
Yeah.
And I think maybe you can relate too. Like when you speak with people, you're mentoring someone or you're in a space where they look up to you, you don't have control of how they're attracted to you in that sense, right?
There we go.
So it's like in the end, they misconceive or misunderstand the relationship, and either they want more from you or they expect more from you into their definition of what this friendship is, right? Someone had called me one of their best friends, and I felt instantly like I don't know, I just feel grossed out.
Because it wasn't reciprocal.
And it also goes back to the idea of mentorship, right? This is my personal viewpoint. Friendship, mentorship is kind of similar sometimes, but not really. I believe that a mentee, a person who's under you, decides who their mentor is. Like the person said, "Oh, I'm the mentor." Like, you know, maybe it's an assigned situation. Like, who are you to assign a mentor to this person? Like, what's their relationship? Like, can they even understand each other, relate to each other, right? So I leave that to the power of a person to say, "You're my mentor." Like, well, I think that's weird, but great, welcome. You know what I mean? Like, I'll accept that because that's that they're deciding for themselves. And by calling me your best friend, you didn't give me a choice to even want to be your friend to begin with, right? So yeah, that's kind of like in my realm.
I'm in total agreement with you. Here's the interesting thing about that: when you project a certain amount of energy off, there's gonna be a certain amount of energy attracted to you.
Yeah.
So like this whole idea, I also use me light, you know, representing a light being a light to the world. You know, when you have light, there are bugs attracted to light, and they just gravitate and they go in to that light. And you cannot control how people perceive you and the energy that you give off to the world. And somebody had tell me, Tony, you have to understand there will be people coming into your life for good and bad. They're attracted to you to sometimes swat out the light, and they're sometimes attracted to you to make your light even brighter. But you cannot control that. But what I can control, what you can control, is how you manage the energy that's coming towards you. Something like, hey, we can do coffee. But
why you say it to me?
but I don't want to do dinner because when I do dinner, I'm going to apply this a different whole a level. But setting boundaries.
Yeah, totally.
When people say, "Oh, you're my best friend," like he said, have you ever had to let somebody down? That's a boundary setting, or having to set that boundary. Is that clear with you all the time? I know it ain't always clear with me. That's my responsibility.
For sure.
Yeah, I think I would say I haven't. Well, I sometimes struggle with putting out more energy than I sometimes feel I receive. I don't think I've ever confused a best friend for, I don't think I've ever gone quite that far, but I don't know. I can think, even pretty recently that, I've kind of had to be like, okay, so I know where my place is, with certain people, and it's not that kind of close knit thing that I guess I'm looking for. And so, yeah, I'll moonwalk out of the situation or whatever. But it's no negativity towards them. But I kind of have to check myself because I so badly want to kind of get attached to some people, or I guess attached, I don't know if that's the right word, but you know what I mean. I kind of want to make those connections from those bonds. Yeah.
I think it's funny though, because like when we were working together, I tried so hard for him to be my friend. I was like, he's gonna be my friend. Like, he doesn't know it yet. And I kept asking him, like, do you want to do lunch? He's like, no, I'm gonna hang out over here. I'm like, damn. Okay.
You like the blood? You like the blood? Damn.
But eventually he was like, Renee, do you want to get lunch? That was the day. I was like, yes.
Got him.
I got him.
Oh, that is so funny. But you know what? I find like, and I guess maybe it is just like those, because I like even in that case, and I can remember at a job previous to that, there was somebody who was very much like, hey, let's go, like, hey, it's like that big energy and like, hey, we're gonna be friends, and I'm like, are we?
I feel like I didn't even give you a choice. I was like, we're friends. You're welcome.
Yeah, our friends. When you say outside your clique or with your clique, are those friends? Are we talking about people on your clique? Are they your friends?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah. Well, okay.
The people in the clique or outside the clique?
You said you have a clique.
I feel.
So are we? Is this the clique? Does that mean we're friends?
I feel like honestly, like your clique can sometimes change with the situation. Like I have a whole different clique when I go to California to visit my family and see my old friends. I have a different clique when I go back to like Springfield, Massachusetts, and I go out with my friends there, or even just like work friends. And like when I was a waitress, I had one friend group at one restaurant and then another friend group at a different restaurant. And so it's like different. I feel like they're all friends. They're just different cliques. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to, Jarrod's probably going to be mad at me, but I'm going to put this out there for a second.
Oh, Jesus, here we go.
So we have a tennis group. And there are a lot of us who are friends in the group, and there are a lot of us who are just, hey, we just play for the sport. And I think when you came around, Jarrod, you probably had this mindset like, oh, these are a bunch of bitches, and I don't always feel comfortable. Because we kind of had because Jarrod was like, hey, can we do some stuff outside the tennis group? We want to have more social moments instead of off the court. And he would present situations and the group was just not forward. And he was like, "Hey Tony, you know, so what's going on?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't think that's just not all of them. Sometimes they just want to play on the court and they don't want social moments. And then there'll be moments where we do go be social outside the court. And people have come to the tennis group thinking, oh, they're a bunch of bitches. And then I'm the outsider. I'm like, no, but hey, do this, do that. I'm literally, when we have new people come to the tennis group, I'm trying to make them feel welcome. But then there are other people in the group. I'm telling on y'all, there are other people in the group. There are bitches. It's like really standoffish. And I know you felt that before.
Yeah. I mean, and if you want to go there, we can go there because I mean,
let me get my popcorn.
I mean, to be quite honest, that was the situation I was talking about.
I know.
I knew it. You knew it. I know. So I wasn't gonna put it out there, but if we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it.
Oh, so that's how this question came up. Personal experience.
Juicy. I said, this sounds so familiar.
Yeah, I mean, and I understand that everybody's going to be you, and not every. I mean, and me on the same level. Because if I were in charge of a group, I'm going to make sure that when new people come in, that they feel welcome. You know what I'm saying? And I know I brought a new person into the group, and I saw how you got along with him, and I was like, okay, he's cool, whatever. You know. So I feel like you and I have a certain mindset when we are bringing people together. We like to make them feel welcome. We like to make them feel not so distant from each other. There's not the same amount of effort from a lot of other people in the group. Now, this might be because, you know, it's not technically their group, and so they don't really have to do all that, and maybe they don't feel like they have to do that. But yeah, I mean, I definitely have felt that. It's like, I'm with who I'm with, I know who I know, and if I don't know you, then hello, how are you? But that's all you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and so like, you know, and I had to come to the point where I was just like, you know what? That's okay. You know, I don't think that they are bad people because I'm not like in with them like, you know, like I would like to be.
Yeah.
But so, you know, I'm just like, I see it for what it is, and I'm like, okay, well, I've gotten to the point where I'm not so upset about it. You know what I'm saying? I think that I have grown on that level a little bit.
But the group is, I will say, it is a rough group sometimes. Meaning, so we'll be playing and somebody will say, "Hey, I want to learn."
I've heard some of y'all tennis tea, and I'm not even in.
I know. And he said, "Okay, I'm gonna learn how to play tennis."
Be a special session, just like a spell on the tennis team.
Be like, listen, you know how to play? Can you get the ball?
They don't allow you in the group if you can't play.
Absolutely
tennis.
not.
And they won't teach you. They don't teach you.
We will not. You gotta have some type of a 101 tennis basic. And I get that, but also Jarrod has grown. And so we have friendly competition across the court, and we like that. And so he's being more vocal, being more colorful, being more himself. But when he got there, he was like, hey.
You think so? Because I thought I was being more. I was trying to be outgoing. At least when I first got there.
Right, but now it's like it's just you're you, and it's like, hey, Jarrod, what's going on? Boom, bam, and you know we play,
and that's how you do it.
That's right, you know. So I thought you was talking about us for a second, you know. But...
So I guess my next question would be, do we put it on the person trying to become a part of the clique, or the clique for not being as welcoming?
I feel like it's like yin and yang, honestly. I think like you have to be open to meeting new people, and like on both ends, just like be willing to kind of, you know, you see a group of people. I know I said earlier their vibe might not match it, but like there's only one way to find out. You gotta meet them. You have to just say hi, because like honestly on my recent vacation, me and my friend Tyler, we could have easily just like stayed like just the two of us, but we met some like awesome people who we ended up, like one of them ended up going to like Universal with us, and it was so fun. And like I'm so mad that they live like all around the country, because I met really cool people there. Yeah. It was really fun, and I wouldn't have met those people if I just like, you know, like stuck with Tyler the entire time. So yeah, I think.
What was that challenge for you? Was that a challenge for you to step outside the one friendship circle and to mingle with anybody else?
For like a split second, it was. I was just kind of like, so I'm just gonna like go up to people and talk to them. Tyler's really good at it. She's my friend Tyler. She's such a good mingler. But I had like a little bit of wine, so it made it a little bit easier. Wine just took like the little edge off. But you know, you just start talking to someone. If you vibe, you vibe. If you don't, walk away. It's like. Yeah. You can't take it so personally if that person is like having like an off day and they just don't want to talk to anyone or something like that. Yeah. You can't take it personally. Sometimes it's just not going to click with the clique.
There you go.
It's not going to click with the clique.
Yeah, so I thought of that.
Can we make that the title of the show? Click with the clique?
Yeah. Should it be? You're saying like should like basically who's at fault for?
I guess you kind of answered it already though. Like both parties are. It's gonna be require work from both parties. Like she said, you know. But yeah, that was my whole question.
My whole thing is. When you go out, let's say for instance, if you're out with the guys at a bar, and you're not talking to anybody, why are you there? That's my thing, and so that's why.
That's so true.
It's just a little bit.
Why do you want to be those people?
I don't think that's fair.
Go to New York.
No, okay.
I don't think that's fair because sometimes I may want to get away from my current present circumstance, and that is a distraction. I may be out as a distraction. I don't have to talk and still be. And I just want to be social without being social. Maybe I'm really pissed off in my home, so I'm gonna go to a bar. And I don't want to be pissed off to the point where I'm not talking to nobody. But I still want to, get out and just enjoy this moment.
Oh, yeah. No, I get that. Because I got really annoyed when I, went to... I just went to a bar to read. Because I just needed,
Really?
I just needed, a change of environment. I was having a bad... I was, they did look at me like a weirdo. Yes.
Reading in
But then some, guy just, came over and just started hitting on me. I'm like, I just need to be in this moment. Could you not? So, yeah, actually, I get that. Just kind of wanting to.
Does a bar scream social? Is that supposed to be a social space?
I would say so.
Yeah, at a bar. Yeah.
I mean, now, granted, I've definitely
it's not a coffee shop.
I've definitely been to a bar with my friends,
right?
And purposely, I don't want to talk to nobody but my friends. I just want to let's go, let's dance, let's get drunk with each other, and that's it. And I'm not opposed to meeting other people, but I definitely went with the intention of just hanging out with my friends and having fun. Not really. Meeting new people was not the goal.
Yeah, I mean, but I feel like even in those moments, you still need to be just kind of polite and just say it was really nice meeting you, but I just kind of want to hang out with my friends right now, just and not just being an automatic why are you talking to me kind of thing.
Can I say
you're below me?
I've never been good at rejecting people. I've never been good at it. I think that's crazy that y'all can do that.
I think that's another thing, though. I don't think a lot of people are good at it or feel comfortable with doing that, and so they pre-reject before actually needing to say anything. If just in case it comes up that I need to distance myself, I won't have to feel that awkwardness.
Honestly, in social settings, I'm better at rejecting men that come up to me than rejecting girls because I'm just I feel bad. I don't have anyone to talk to.
Yeah. It's difficult. So what would you say to somebody let's say we're talking to the person who is in the bar by themselves and they want to talk to some people, but they seem to be giving them the cold shoulder or what
Fuck
advice?
Buy drinks.
Fuck them. No, listen.
Start off with the drinks.
I've had that happen to me before. They was why you so extra? What? And I've gotten that response. I'm like, I saw y'all was having a good time. I just wanted to dance with y'all too. I said, all right, I'll go over here. I'm going to dance with her. And so, I didn't take it personal. I'm like, they was oh, you so extra. And I moved on. It was kind of like a shot. I was like, okay. Right. I'm going to take my extra ass over here. But that's all in knowing you. If you don't feel comfortable with rejection, then don't go up to no fucking body. Yeah. If you know that's you, and you might not like how I feel on the end, then how about you get comfortable with rejection before you do it? Yeah. So I know me. I know I'm extra. Hashtag I am much. Hashtag I am much. Yes. But Don't take it personal. Everybody ain't gonna be on your vibe, ain't gonna be on your level.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that.
But I
mean,
do encourage it. If you want to get to know people, step outside your comfort zone. Also.
Yeah, obviously, like, go get to know a new person. Don't let the fact that, like, they might not vibe with you, like, hold you back from it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's always going to be another person.
Right.
It's a bar.
And I know we brought this up before, too. Maybe it's not the bar, right? Like, it might not be the scene for you that gets to know people, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
it may not be the bar.
Yeah,
maybe
it might
it's
not be the bar,
game.
somewhere
Maybe it's
else.
somewhere else. Yeah.
Right.
So-
I would also say, you know, even if you talk to somebody, they don't have to end up being your best friend.
Yeah.
They don't have to. I mean, sometimes you have to check your own intentions.
For sure.
And whoever you talk to, even if you think that, you know, the guy, whoever you're talking to is cute and they're not really giving you much, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, or if they're just giving you friendship vibes, then roll with the friendship vibe.
Sure.
Excuse me.
Yeah, you can always, like, go, like, when you're out, like, when you're out at a bar or at a club and you want to, like, go meet new cliques and stuff, you can kind of go into it just, like, kind of thinking, like, by large chance, I will never see this person again. So, like,
Right.
fuck it. Like,
What
why
is it gonna do?
What is it going to do? Because there are plenty of people who, when I was, like, drunk at a club, I thought that they were going to be my best friend forever, and I never saw them again.
Look, I completely had that happen. I remember I went somewhere. I was at Taboo, local place here in Philly, for those of y'all outside of the city. But I was there by myself. I had gone to some other party, and I had just kind of drifted into Taboo. And there were these two girls that were sitting at the table. First of all, they're not exactly the sex that I want to talk to when I go to a gay bar, but but see, that's the thing. You have to be open to whoever is, like, you know, attracted. You have to be open to that. So that's another thing. But they just scooted on over. We ended up talking, and we had a good time, good vibe, and you know, I'm like, oh, okay, we talking about going to, like, the EDC or whatever out in Vegas, and I'm like, okay, we really vibing, like, okay, you know. So we got up and we left, and we were gonna head over to Woody's, which is, like, right around the corner. And
Never been. I want to go.
oh, well, we're gonna make that happen, okay? But I remember we were in line and we had to pay cover to get in, and I went in first. They got my ID and everything, so I went into the door, and I got in there and I paid cover, and I'm like waiting, and I'm like looking behind me, and then I look out the front door, and they just disappear. I've not seen them since.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I've realized when people are intentional, and this is the year of intention, 2021 is the year of intention. When people are intentional, they'll make it a point. Like, if I'm feeling a vibe, I'm like, hey, Melvin, I may not want your number. Hey, let me get your Instagram. Let's connect. Right. Intentional for relationship. Relationship means who I am in relation to you. And so if you're intentional about a connection of any sorts, make that connection.
Right.
I'm not going to be intentional about talking to you, vibing out, and I don't see it going nowhere if I'm not going to try to connect with you later.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just for the moment.
Right.
And that's okay. If I truly want to vibe out, you know, but you seem like good energy. Let me get your number. Let me get your Instagram. Let's connect later. Okay. Going to another club is not connecting.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's just my point.
So if anyone has met him in the club, he doesn't like you. He never wanted to be your friend.
That's a temporary moment. So if I really want to connect with you,
moment,
hey, it's okay. Have fun in the moment and be present in the moment. That's just a present moment.
Yeah. For sure.
You know, it's like, listen, I'm all right, cool.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder, you know, I know for me, I like to think about bonds over the actual, like, friendship idea, because sometimes we have moments with strangers and you bond with them at that moment and they stay with you. So I don't know who these people are, but I feel more bonded with them, with daily people I meet every day. And they stay in my memories for whatever situation that had happened between us, whether it's traumatic or something serious or something funny or something spooky, who knows, right? But those people, you have an opportunity to implant that within your own journey, right? And the lessons that I learned, like, we're here together right now. I don't know what lessons we'll be gaining, but there's just going to be some sort of bond that's going to be created that's going to teach us something, right? Like, you know, on a journey moving forward. But yeah, so, like, you know, in terms of friendship and things like that, I do relate more to, like, how are you bonded with this individual, you know, so that lasts longer.
I like that. Friendships versus bonds, you know?
Yeah. Interesting.
That's so
Interesting. All right, so we touched on the topic of, I think you kind of brought it up with the topic of rejection.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
that's a nice little segue into our next topic. But I'm going to stop this episode here, and then we're going to jump into our next session in a moment.